Coming up in this episode, Manly swoop for veteran forward and how it benefits Olakua'atu. Plus, is there a Southern Hemisphere Four Nations afoot? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. Also, if you like to donate to the channel, you can do it in two ways. One, through my paypal.me account at ant1981, or through my Buy Me a Coffee campaign. All proceeds will go towards a future rugby league project. Give what you can. Anyway, let's begin the episode in Manly, as they have announced the signing of Aaron Woods to help with their forward line. This deal was done less than 12 hours ago, as Manly Seagulls have announced the signing of experienced prop Aaron Woods for the remainder of the 2023 season, effective immediately. Former New South Wales and Australia representative, Woods has played 252 first-grade games since making his NRL debut for the West Tigers in 2011. The 32-year-old has also had previous stints at Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, Cronulla Sutherland Sharks, and St George Illawarra Dragons. Seagulls coach Michael Seibold welcomed Woods to Manly. Aaron adds experience and depth to our middle forwards, said Seibold. Competition for the spot is something we have worked really hard on over the pre-season, and Woodsy will certainly add to that. He has played for Australia and New South Wales and brings that wealth of experience. Woods himself says he's looking forward to joining the Seagulls, a club that he proudly supported when he was a kid. It's a strong club, Manly. I'm very excited to play alongside the likes of Jake and Tom Tarajovic and Daly Cherry Evans, the Queensland and Australia vice-captain, Woods said. And then there is some exciting young players there in Olakua'atu and Tolu Koala. If I can pass on my experience to these young guys, I will be happy. I just want to buy into what Anthony Seibold wants to do and help drive the culture and standards at Manly. It seems like that he's very happy to join Manly, as they're going okay at the moment. I think there's one loss in their last 4 games, in the first 4 games of the NRL season. I think they've only played 3 though, but still get their 2 points due to uneven teams. But hey ho. Woods is a very experienced player, and one that Manly will be pleased to getting over the line after losing Marty Tupou in the off-season. The Seagulls, though, have also confirmed officially they have released Viliami Fifita and Alec Tuitavika, and wish them well in their future endeavours. But they've rocked up at Woods' old club, St George Illawarra Dragons. It looks like that it's effectively a swap deal for the two 22-year-olds, as they have joined the Dragons effective immediately. The forwards make up this deal, and Fifita on the right will be added to the top 30 roster for this year and will remain at the club for at least the end of 2025. Tuitavike will spend 2023 on a development contract before being upgraded to a top 30 contract, keeping him at the club for at least the end of 2024. The opportunity to bring in both Viliami and Alec to the Dragons continues to build our depth in the forward pack over the coming seasons, said Dragons General Manager of Football Ben Harron. We feel both Viliami and Alec are at an age in which their potential for growth over the coming years is significant, and in their own way, they each provide a point of difference that complements our current roster. With this move being haggled over, it seems like State of Origin contender Hamoule Olakua'atu will have a stunning early season form rewarded with a contract upgrade, now that the Seagulls and the Dragons have finalised the swap deal for Aaron Woods going to Manly. While the details were haggled out, and with an agreement that with the emerging forwards Fifita and Tuitavake going to St George Illawarra, the big winner is likely to be the starback Roma Olakua'atu, as he is poised to have his 2023 deal upgrade should the clubs exchange the props. The 24-year-old has made a huge impression during the first 3 rounds, including on New South Wales coach Brad Fittler and his selection advisors, prompting his management to argue for an immediate pay rise. Reported by the Age newspaper, the Seagulls have the Tongan international contracted until 2025, but there are plans to use any money made available by the Wood swap to upgrade Olakua'atu, who is one of the form players in the competition so far. Manly and St George were continuing on Monday to thrash out the Woods trade to Manly, with the Seagulls haggling for Dragons to pitch in a portion of the veteran forward's salary. Seagulls would then release their top 30 contracted forwards, the young Fifita and Tuitavake, to St George Illawarra, who are in desperate need of reinforcements in the middle third. It seemed as a positive move by all, and to get Olakua'atu either tied up to a longer contract with the Manly Seagulls, so that they don't lose players like Penrith Panthers have, and creates a, shall we say, continuity of forwards, as Woods is only there until 2023. It'll see this man get the help he needs and possibly push the team as a whole further up the ladder. It's just speculation at this point, but Olakua'atu getting a new deal, do you think that's a good one? We now go to that golden unicorn that is International Rugby League, as we have heard murmurings of if a collective bargaining agreement is put together, that International Rugby League will be high on the menu down under. According to the Sydney Morning Herald, we could be set for a second bumper year of International Rugby League, with the 4 nations set to return later in 2023, featuring Australia, New Zealand, Samoa and Tonga in a men's competition, as well as the Jillaroos versus the Kiwi Ferns women's international. As we know, International Rugby League is feast or famine when it comes to our sport and the international in the international arena. But after 2022 saw Pacific Nations tests drawing bumper crowds all over Australia, the NRL are looking at it again for their base players to play International Rugby League and grab that international money where they can. Currently, the NRL is in negotiations with the Rugby League Players Association Supremo and his team Clint Newton over a collective bargaining agreement which sees control over certain funds due to a new TV deal being managed by the Rugby League's Player Association themselves, and once they get to a certain point, they are free to agree with any proposed change if they want to. This after the beginning of the season, where the NRL players did not turn up for the launch of the 2023 campaign. But what of England? Well, at the beginning of, after the World Cup at the beginning of this year, England was supposed to be in long-held talks with Tonga for a test series in the Northern Hemisphere, but that has gone quiet so far, and I think that is due to the collective bargain agreement is yet to be agreed on. That test would have taken over 3 games as well. That's the only reason why England are not selling tickets and building up hype around the arrival of one of the most marketable names in the sport. They need to know the international window so that they can set dates, book grounds, and get going. For Tonga, it represents a watershed for their place in International Rugby League, both in terms of prestige and financial terms, as they would be the first nation other than Australia and New Zealand to be afforded a full tour, and would be expected to be treated and paid in the same way that the Kangaroos and the Kiwis would. They are now the draw card, a full graduation to the top table of sport, after playing as the undercard for so long. The only previous Pacific nation to tour Europe as a standalone was Papua New Guinea, who toured in France during 1979 season. Tonga have toured England as part of the 2006 Federation Shield tournament, though that also included France and Samoa, and took place simultaneously with the Tri-Nations, which featured Great Britain and Australia and New Zealand. Tonga, though, have never toured as a main event, however, and to be given the right would certainly be a new step forward in Rugby League's Pacific revolution. Tonga are thought to be considering their options, with financial guarantees sought from the Rugby Football League required before they fulfil commitment. They fully commit, as well as signing the NRLCBA, so that the Players Association will be able to allow their Australian-based players to take part. Currently, players are unable to confirm their availability windows for international games until their club schedules, insurance, annual leave are all agreed with their employers. This is not a problem for the NRL-based players, all of whom have had the same requirements and thus be able to fit into the Southern Hemisphere-based tournament with relative ease, but it might present an issue for a team looking to tour England. Financial side should not be a problem. English Rugby League is currently being restructured along with the RFL's new strategic partner IMG, who have made international games a centre pillar of their plan to transform the sport in its homeland. They have already insisted on an annual England versus France clash, with this year's event scheduled for next month, and will likely be able to successfully market Tonga versus England later in the year, given the success of the World Cup, and also the historical appetite for the international fixtures in the UK. The competing options on the other side of the world present a favourable new frontier for Pacific nations and international footy. Tonga, in the first time ever, will be able to play kingmakers and open themselves up to the highest bidder between the NRL and the RFL. Australia and New Zealand could certainly play each other, but without Mate Mate and Toa Samoa, it's half the occasion that it could be. So, the Four Nations is an event that would interest a lot of Southern Hemisphere fans. It would mean that England would have to find another opponent if they don't get Tonga. Granted, teams like Papua New Guinea, Cook Islands would do a job. Would it do the status of the RFL any good? England, the Rugby League, the RFL are going to have to break the bank on this one. No matter what the NRL offer, we've got to beat it if they want a competitive international fixture or at the end of the year. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on our notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode in the comment section below, as it's open for business. What can I say? Collective bargaining agreement holding up International Rugby League? Needs to be signed quickly. Then we can find out what's going on. Any international rugby will be good, but England can't be left behind. If they can't get a team over here, they should tour over there. Really. Because then you can see what is going on, and England will not be too far away from headlines. Go to Papua New Guinea, go to the Cook Islands. Anyway, Lebanon, go. Just get International Rugby League on the market. But that's up to the RFL and the NRL and the Rugby League Players Association. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. And I'll end the episode as I always do by wishing you all the very best. So please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.